Hello, my dear Taurus friends. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to my channel. This reading is for the months of July and August, and it applies to you if you're a Taurus sun, rising, or moon. We're going to start with a quick overall look, and I can already tell you that these 2 months are going to be perfectly. The universe clearly has some strong messages for you because several cards came up twice during the reading. For example, the Queen of Pentacles shows up here and here. The Hanged Man appears both in your emotional life and in your professional life. And the Pope also comes up twice, once at the end of the reading and again here. In terms of major arcana, you have the beautiful Star card showing up as the help the universe is sending you to fulfill your soul's mission. You also have the Hanged Man in both your emotional and material professional life. And the Pope appears again in your career sphere and in the guidance from your spirit team. As for the suits, we've got cups, pentacles, and swords. Do you have any wands? Yes, you do. So overall, it's a fairly balanced 2 months, relatively speaking, because there are some areas that may require patience and a shift in perspective, especially with the presence of the Hanged Man. But we'll explore all of that in detail now. Let's begin with what will be at the very heart of these 2 months, what your soul is truly longing for at this point in your life. I've chosen to center my readings around the soul because when we live and act from the level of our soul and not our ego or little self, life naturally becomes aligned. And when life is aligned, it's so much more joyful, prosperous, and easeful. And for you, we have the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So clearly, emotions will play a big role over the next 2 months. The 5 of Cups shows someone facing a loss, disappointment, or regret. You can see their posture turn towards what's been spilled, symbolized by the 3 cups on the ground. Things can't be the way they were before. There's often a sense of nostalgia with this card. But your soul is inviting you to lift your head and look in another direction, because if you look closely, there are still 2 cups standing, ready to offer you new opportunities and new emotional experiences, but only if you're willing to turn the page. And the 7 of Cups amplifies this emotional energy. It represents a whole world of possibilities, which might even feel overwhelming, whether it's about choices to make, desires, or temptations. This card also speaks to the power of discernment, and I believe your soul wants you to be able to recognize what truly holds value in your life, what genuinely brings light and joy. It's about making the right choices, choosing what brings true happiness, and letting go of what's just illusion. Now let's look at the next 2 cards, which represent the support the universe is sending to help you carry out this mission of your soul. The Star and our first Queen of Pentacles. The Star is a beautiful blessing. It reminds you that you're not alone during this time of transition. You are being guided, supported, and loved, even if you may doubt that sometimes. But the Star also brings renewed hope. It's the light at the end of the tunnel, and it can lead to deep healing. There's nothing for you to do right now. Just trust that you're on the right path. The universe is encouraging you to believe in yourself again, to trust life, and to trust something greater than you. And the Queen of Pentacles grounds this celestial energy into your everyday reality. She shows you that you already have the inner resources to build a stable life, one that nourishes you and aligns with your deepest needs. Her energy is gentle but powerful, protective too. Of course, she speaks to material abundance, money, property, but not only that. She's also encouraging you to take care of your health, your body, your emotional security, and your environment. And for some of you, this queen may represent a wise and grounded person in your life, someone who's kind and nurturing. Now we move on to your main challenge during these 2 months. And interestingly, we find the Queen of Pentacles again, but this time she shows up as part of the obstacle alongside the 2 of Swords. In this position, the Queen might suggest a tendency to control things too tightly, or perhaps being too attached to material security right now. You might feel the need to control everything, to have everything under control, instead of trusting something more fluid and open, like the kind of trust the Star invites you to embrace. And the 2 of Swords reinforces this inner tension. It looks like there's a difficult decision to make. You might feel torn between 2 parts of yourself, the voice of reason that wants to play it safe, and the voice of intuition calling you to open a new path, even if it feels scary or uncertain. So together, these cards show that your challenge is not to stay stuck in control, but to find a balance between caution, of course, and faith, between the stability you know well and something new that wants to emerge. And to help you with this challenge, this tendency to control versus learning to release, the universe sends you the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. The Page of Pentacles, like all pages, carries an energy of beginnings, of fresh starts and enthusiasm. But since we're in the suit of Pentacles, this beginning is grounded. It's serious, it's committed. The Page of Pentacles plants a seed with a clear intention to nurture it. So during July and August, you're being encouraged to adopt that same mindset, an openness, a sense of curiosity, but also a certain discipline. Because he's the most methodical and well-prepared of all 4 pages in the tarot, so if you're thinking about reorganizing your finances, launching a new project, or changing your daily routine, this is a great time to start. This page speaks of building something long-term, step by step, without rushing. Even though it's young energy, the Page of Pentacles is incredibly reliable. And then you have the Ace of Swords, a gift from the universe, like all aces. It's the hand of the divine offering you a breakthrough. And because we're in the suit of swords, this breakthrough comes through clarity and communication. Where the Two of Swords showed indecision and inner conflict, the Ace cuts right through. So something is likely to happen during this time, maybe a sudden insight, maybe an unexpected event. I can't say for sure. But what's clear is that something will help you see things more clearly and make a decisive choice. And these 2 cards together both speak of renewal. Don't forget, the aces represent a 1, the beginning of a new cycle. And the page comes after the 10, also a fresh start. So here, you're being encouraged to step outside your comfort zone, yes, but do it with the grounded energy of the Page of Pentacles and the mental clarity of the Ace of Swords. That clarity will come to you naturally, as a gift from above. Now let's move on to the hidden gift behind your challenge. Because every struggle we go through, every challenge, holds something positive, a hidden blessing. It's just that we often don't see it right away, but it becomes clear with time. For you, that gift is represented by the 7 of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. The 7 of Pentacles speaks of patience and of harvest to come. It's a reminder that what you're going through right now is not in vain. Even if it feels like nothing is moving, something is taking root beneath the surface. This card asks you to trust the natural timing of things. It also tells you that the most lasting results come from consistent effort and persistence. And we can clearly see how this follows from the Page of Pentacles we just talked about. So your gift here is the promise of a reward that matches the effort you're putting in now, as long as you don't give up before the finish line. And then with the Knight of Wands, the energy totally shifts. Look at this knight riding a stunning unicorn. He embodies inner fire, passion. You're going to reconnect with your drive and vitality. I think you'll feel like exploring new ideas, going after things you've never tried before. And that's beautiful because it shows you'll be reigniting that inner spark and channeling it into something that truly excites you. This is a powerful blessing. It means that what you're going through now is laying the foundation for your future, and those foundations will be solid. Let's move into your emotional life, and here you've got 2 very powerful cards. The 3 of Swords and our first appearance of the Hanged Man. The 3 of Swords reveals an emotional wound that's still very present. This card speaks of sadness, even heartbreak, or a deep disappointment. For some of you, this could be related to a romantic loss or feeling abandoned or rejected. But for many of you, I think it's more of an inner rupture. You know, that kind of pain no one around you really sees, but that affects you in silence. You've clearly been through something difficult, or maybe you're still going through it. And of course, this will look different for everyone. It could be grief, the loss of someone close, or it could be the end of a certain phase of life, or the loss of a dream, or of the safety you once had. And with the Hanged Man, there's no doubt that this wound has left you in a kind of emotional suspension, like you're stuck. This card shows a pause, a period where nothing seems to move forward, like you're frozen in that sadness or pain. And that may be why you're having such a hard time making a choice, like we saw with the Two of Swords earlier, torn between safety and change, between trusting and withdrawing. But remember, the Hanged Man isn't a negative card. In fact, if you look closely, you'll see a bright light shining from his solar plexus. And that makes perfect sense, because even in this pause, even in what feels like stillness, something luminous is growing within you. The Hanged Man asks you to shift your perspective, to realize that this pause is here to guide you into a powerful inner transformation. And that's deeply aligned with everything we've seen in this reading. Go back to what we saw at the very beginning. The Five of Cups, that's what your soul is longing for right now. And now, with the Three of Swords and the Hanged Man in your emotional realm, we can clearly see it. Yes, you've lost something. Maybe it was a lifestyle, a project, a friendship, a relationship, something meaningful. And yes, it's been painful, maybe it still is, but don't stay frozen in that loss. There are still two cups standing. Look at them. They're right there, upright and full of beauty and love. They're holding something new that wants to come into your life. Let's move on now to your career and finances. And you've got not one, but two major arcana here. The Hanged Man again, which confirms that sense of feeling stuck or blocked, and the Pope. Let's start with the Hanged Man. I feel like something has recently ended in your professional or financial life. But not only has a new chapter not started yet, you may also feel like nothing is really moving forward right now. And that can be uncomfortable, this feeling of being between two stages with no real clarity. Have you not bounced back after a recent change? It could be retirement, a job shift, losing a business, finishing a training program without yet doing anything with it. Or maybe you're in a period of reflection, but not taking action. It might even be more emotional, like a change in a relationship or a deep loss of meaning after something ended. But, like always with the Hanged Man, there is light. If you look closely at the classic version of this card, you'll see the halo around his head. That shows us this pause is actually a time of deep inner transformation. Something is realigning within you, even if you can't yet see it reflected in the outside world. And then we have the Pope, or a Hierophant, in this Celtic tarot, and he adds a spiritual dimension to all of this. I'll share the links to the two decks I'm using in the description, by the way. I find this image of the Pope beautiful. You see a druid harvesting mistletoe with the help of a young apprentice. There's clearly a message of passing on knowledge and wisdom. But when this card is paired with the Hanged Man, it's like that transmission can't happen just yet. And of course, the Pope represents faith, our connection to something greater than ourselves. So it's possible that right now, you don't have all the information to move forward. There might be a missing piece, something you're waiting on. But it's coming. And we saw that earlier with the Ace of Swords, a breakthrough that will bring you mental clarity and help you step into the next phase of your journey. So just remember, even if things feel stuck right now, they are shifting on a deeper level of consciousness. Now let's move into your evolution by the end of August. And I'm so happy for you because you've got two beautiful cards here, the Three of Wands and the Ten of Cups. And I love that they're showing up in this part of the reading because together they speak of hope. But not just vague hope, real, grounded hope. Let's dive in. We'll start with the Three of Wands. This is the card of vision, of looking toward the future. Look at the figure here, facing the horizon, watching ships come into the harbor, carrying valuable goods. This means your hopes are not misplaced. Things are moving. Results are coming. There's momentum building, even if you can't see it yet. In other words, by the end of August, you'll start to regain a sense of perspective, a clearer idea of your next steps. Your path will start to open up again, and you'll likely begin laying the first bricks of this new chapter. And then we have the Ten of Cups. What a gift. This is one of the most beautiful cards in the whole tarot deck. It speaks of emotional fulfillment, joy, inner peace, and those precious everyday moments you share with loved ones. But it also represents a deep sense of reconciliation with yourself. And in this version from the Celtic Tarot, the message goes even deeper. You see these figures sitting peacefully beneath a grand tree, almost like the tree itself is offering them protection. To me, this speaks of returning to what truly matters, of reconnecting with the simple yet powerful emotions that make you feel fully alive. So if you ever feel stuck or discouraged over the next couple months, think about these two cards. They are your reminder that everything is aligning beneath the surface, and it's all leading you toward more meaning and more joy. It's truly beautiful. And before we close with the final oracle message, we finish with the sacred guidance from your spirit team, and you've pulled the Pope once again. So clearly, the universe is saying, hold on to your faith. Keep trusting. This foggy or nostalgic time is not permanent. You are moving through it. And not only that, you are heading towards something absolutely beautiful. And now, let's wrap up with your message from the Petit Oracle de l'Intuition from the Liberation series. It's in French, but here's the translation. Every negative emotion fades in the light of your positive thoughts. Use the power of your mind, and your reality will shift as if by magic. That is such a powerful message, and it's so aligned with everything we've seen because it shows how your thoughts and your emotional state may be feeding the feeling of being stuck, just like we saw with the Hanged Man. And don't forget, you also have the Five of Cups at the very heart of your reading. So do your best to keep your focus on the two upright cups, on the emotions and the experiences that are still ahead of you, not on the three that have spilled, because there is something truly beautiful coming your way. All right, my dear Taurus friends, these are going to be 2 very powerful months. I'll leave you with a link in the description to an audiobook that might really help you understand what your soul is going through right now. It's a book that's taught me so much, and it's brought me deep comfort and peace, not just in relation to life and its challenges, but also around the subject of death. I'm sending you all my love. Please take good care of yourself, and don't hesitate to come back to this reading. It's a deep one, filled with powerful insights. And of course, keep the faith, and I'll see you again on August 28th for your next reading.